Okay, I think we're in exercise, 33, and we're going to go through the problems one at a time. I'm going to do something a little bit different than you might have seen before, at least from me. Your teachers might have shown you this, but I'm going to try to abbreviate this thing and make it simpler for me to look at. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use what's called a matrix to do it. And let me make sure I can do that. Get my pen out. Just give me 1 second. Push my pen away. And I'm going to use a matrix form of this. And I'll write the coefficients of the x down. That's 5, 3, and a 1. Coefficients of y would be 1, minus 5, and a minus 3. The coefficients of the z, minus 4, minus 6, 8. I'm going to put a vertical bar, and I'll tell you how that's read later, because I'm separating sides, left side from the right side. Minus 5, minus 20, and minus 27. And I want to claim to you that this is a technique that a lot of people use to simplify the process, all right? But it's still read the same way. And understand the variables are x, y, and z. It's read, the top line is read as 5x plus y minus 4z equals minus 5. That's that vertical bar, by the way. The next line would be read as 3x minus 5y minus 6z equals minus 20. The third line is read as x minus 3y plus 8z equals minus 27. Well, we're doing the same thing, but it's a little bit easier for me to write things down now because I don't have all the letters to write down. I got a bunch of numbers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, minus 3 row 3. That's an equation, by the way. Plus that second row, or that second equation. And I'm going to just simply say that's the new equation for row 2. Right? We've done this before. And I've actually written the rows down before. Now I'm going to write the arithmetic down. This is where some students and some teachers don't write the work down, but I'm going to write the work down. So what's minus 3 row 3s? That would be minus 3, a 9, minus 24, right? I'm multiplying by minus 3. Okay, so minus 3, 9, minus 24. And then, minus 3 times minus 27 is just 81. And what am I adding that to? Row 2. And what's row 2? 3, minus 5, minus 6, minus 20. I put a little line over here. I'm going to add that together. 0, 4, minus 30, and this would be 61. All right? What am I going to do now? I'm going to get my eraser out, and like I said, I was going to put that into row 2. All right, so I'll do this over here, and I'll say that's row 2. And what's row 2? 0, 4, minus 30, and 61. All right, I'm going to erase my work now. And what do I mean by work? My baby work, my arithmetic work. And I'm going to say I'm done with the first step. All right, this is the first step. Now I'm going to take a second step. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, use that third row to get rid of that 5 in the first row. And how would I do that? Well, minus 5 row 3 plus row 1, and I'm going to give it to row 1. All right, let's see what happens there. So you get minus 5, 15, minus 40, and let's see, 5 times 27, let's see, that's going to be a positive number, 100, 135. All right, I did minus 5 times row 3. And I'm going to add row 1. What do you get? 5, 1, minus 4, and minus 5. A little bar there, adding them together. What do you get? 0, 16, minus 44. And what do you get there? You get 130. What am I going to do now? I'm going to erase row 1 and put that down. What do you get there? Let's see, 0, 16, minus 44, and 130. By the way, do not think these steps are unique. You could have taken a different path. The question is, what is the path always going to lead to? No matter what I do, including some wacky things, it should always lead to the answer that we're providing to you. Now I'm going to do the third thing. And by the way, the third thing for this system is really going to be the end of it. And what am I going to do? Well, I want to tell you I'm looking at a subsystem. And the system we're looking at are these two equations over here. And what do I notice about that? Well, if I took those two equations, right, and just read them to you, what would it be? 16y minus 44z equals 130. And the next equation would be 4y minus 30z equals 61. And what I'm going to do there, I'm going to write down, I want to take minus 4 row 2, add it to row 1, and give it to row 1. Let me write that down for you. So 0 minus 16, well, let's see, minus 4 times minus 30 is a positive number, right? That's 120. And let's see, minus 4 times 61, that's 244, minus 244. Again, I did minus 4 row 2. All right, I'm going to add to row 1 now. What do you get, row 1? 0, 16, minus 44, and then 130. I'll put my little bar there, and let's do it. And what do you get? 0, I'm adding them together, 0, and let's see what you get there, 56, 66, 76. And what do you get here? Let's see, minus 1, 1, 4. All right. What does that say, though? That says this. It says 76 z equals minus 114. All right? Now, you don't have to do this, but I said I was going to give it to row 1, right? So I'm going to erase row 1. Give me 1 second. Whoops, I went a little too far there. I'll correct that in a moment. I'm going to erase row 1 and write that down. And what's that going to be? 0, 0, 7, 6, minus 114. Well, let's write this down. I'm going to solve for z now. That's minus 114 over 7, 6. I'm going to divide top and bottom by 2. What are you going to get there? Well, 38. And if you divide the top by 2, what are you going to get? Minus 57. Gee, 19. And 19 goes into 38 twice, and 19 goes into 57 3 times. Let's make sure of that. 3 times 19 is 30. Yeah, 27. Yeah, we got it. All right. So I have the z, and I noticed I got the z over there. So this is how you can get the other numbers. And what I'm going to do is what's called back substitution. And we've done this before. Right, so I'll take that second equation. I'll write it down for you. The second equation, I'm just reading it now. It's 4y minus 30z. Well, I believe z is minus 3 over 2, right? And what do they say is equal to 61? Well, let's go through that, and let's see what we come up with. What do we get? 4y, and it's going to be plus now, right? And you're going to get, let's see, 2 goes into 30 15 times, and 15 times 3 is 45. And that equals 61. Well, 4y is 16, and y would be equal to 4. I see that clearly. Then what are you going to do? How do you get the x? Well, I'm going to go this equation over here and plug it in. And what does it say? It says this. It says x. Well, it says minus 3y, right? So what's minus 3y? Minus 12. And again, that third equation now. And then 8 times z. Well, 8 times z, well, let's see, that would be minus 12. And what's supposed to be equal to? Minus 27. Well, let me see if I can do that. X would equal, well, minus 12 is minus 24. So I'd add 24 to both sides, and I get minus 3, as advertised. Now, granted, this may look very strange to you, but it's an alternative method for solving a problem, using an augmented matrix to do so. All right, so I realize Wells doesn't cover that, but you may be familiar with that, and it may be a reminder that you're familiar with that. If you want to check the system, though, you have to go back to the original equations and plug them in. But I'm pretty comfortable we did it right. Thank you so much for paying attention.